ka la pere la amala lenaneo la rona la dipapadi lenaneo la mafumahadi e leng the ladies club mona ke lenaneo le ke tika mafumahadi a rona a dipapadi moe motle nna lebitso la ka ke Lebo Motsoeli.
And my name's Vaylen Kirtley. Thank you so much for being with us here on the show. Greetings to you all. Thanks again, because we are going to be celebrating our game changers in women's sport as well as those trailblazers. Today we're chatting about women who are in leadership positions when it comes to sports, and you're welcome to join in the conversation on social media. It's so easy. On Twitter, it's at Lebo Motsoeli, at Vaylen Kirtley, at Sports at SABC, and on Twitter, on Facebook, as well as on Instagram, just use our hashtag The Ladies Club.
We have an awesome guest in studio today. Kere ke tshwere sekwankwe sa mosadi. Mehleng ha o ila bapalla sehlopha sa Banyana Banyana ha re bua ka bolo ya maoto mui lebitso la ha yena ke Lydia Mpnyepao. O dutse setulong sa Deputy Director Support Services ko Tux, and she'll be giving us all the insights into her amazing role that she's played in women leadership where she's at.
And I think to put into perspective where she is, the journey that she's come to actually be there is just absolutely incredible. I can't wait for that conversation to begin, because as a society, we need to understand the importance of women in leadership roles in all sectors, but specifically here on the program, we talk about in sport. These ladies represent the interests of women and girls and contribute to the creation of a more diverse and inclusive sporting environment.
Absolutely. Now, before we continue with our discussion, we'd like to set the tone with an inspiring quote. Lydia Mpnyepao, a huge part of being a feminist is giving other women the freedom to make choices you might necessarily make yourself. She is a Golden Globe winner, Dernman, who is best known for writing and directing, producing and acting in a series called Girls. It was an original series she created for HBO. Absolutely loved her creativity.
She also became the first woman to win the Directors Guild of America Award for Outstanding Directing Comedy Series. She wrote, directed and starred in the semi-autobiographical independent film Tiny Furniture, which she won an Independent Spirit Award for Best First Screenplay.
She talks about the freedom, and that's the kind of person that she is, you know, you will call it child of the earth, of the soil, or whatever it is, but
a free spirit.
She is a free spirit, and I think that's what I loved about her work, and she gave many other women the opportunity to explore their creativity without putting them in a certain box. So that's the reason why I loved her quote as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the important thing, because as women, we're also individuals, and what's important for me may not be as important for somebody else. But respecting each and every single person's opinion and saying, you know what you have to say, it matters, and I'm going to give you the platform in order to express who you are and how you as a woman want to represent yourself. And I think that's what's so important, giving everyone a voice.
All right, and you also at home do have a voice. It's at Sport at SABC, at Vaylen Kirtley, at Lebo Motsoeli, hashtag The Ladies Club. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are chatting to an amazing South African, Lydia Mpnyepao.
Watching The Ladies Club. Thank you so much for staying with us. Remember, it's so easy to get in touch with us on social media, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram. Just use our hashtag The Ladies Club. We're going to get our conversation with today's game changer, Lydia Mpnyepao, underway in just a short while. But let's catch you up with some women's sports news. And wow, Kirtley.
She's done it again.
She stole the show at this year's Old Mutual Two Oceans Marathon, winning the women's race in spectacular style.
Absolutely. She crossed the finish line in 3 hours, 31 minutes and 28 minutes and seconds, rather, just 44 seconds outside Van der Merwe's race record, which has stood for 30 years. I mean, she was really incredible. Remember, we had her on the show, Lesotho's Mamoro Lachoka yena we lankama ema bobedi alatelwa ke Yvette Fanseli we lankama ema boraro ha re bua ka Two Oceans Marathon in it tshwaretse kwana ko Motsekapa just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, certainly a fantastic performance from South Africa's athlete Yvette Fansel in her very first ultra marathon, and Kirtley with that blinding run. You know, she was nearly 7 minutes in front of Mamoralo. It's incredible.
She's really
Can't wait
great.
to see what's going to happen come Comrades Marathon. Let's shift our focus to our game changer for today. Born in Pimville, Soweto, Lydia Mpnyepao completed her matric and went on to receive a full bursary from Ernst & Young to study a BCom at Wits University. She also got a scholarship to study a master's in sports management in the UK between 2008 and 2009. She chose Loughborough University as it's well known for its sport in the UK.
Sure, the former Banyana player is an avid reader and just finished reading Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She also loves reading African literature from various writers in and around South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the Ladies Club Lounge. Good morning, welcome, Lydia.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
Sure, where do we even begin? Those that do not know of you, take us through your role as a woman footballer way back then, where opportunities were not very open, or they weren't even there for South African women to take part and wear the green and gold for Banyana Banyana.
Well, look, a lot of us, the former players, would like to see ourselves as, you know, the building blocks in the house of women's football. Because when we started playing, there was not much for us. You know, we were playing for pride more than money, more than anything else. You know, if they paid you, you know, you were lucky to have the money. But if they didn't pay you, you were still okay. You know, because you knew you were representing your country, and this was your country, you know, you were represented with pride. But a lot of things have changed ever since then, obviously, because now the ladies, you know, who play football, they're getting more opportunities, they're getting more international games, you know, international friendlies. They get to play more competitions. Now they qualified for the World Cup for the first time ever. And also the money that they're getting paid is much more than what we got previously. But obviously there's a lot of improvement, a lot of room to improve when it comes to payment of women players. But it's much better than when I was a player back in the days.
Sure.
Being born in Soweto, I know that you went to the International School of South Africa, which was in the Northwest Province where you did your high school. But how much did being born in Soweto and those very formative years being spent in Soweto inform your love of football?
Look, I was born in Soweto, but I didn't really grow up in Pimville. My parents actually shipped me and my siblings to a village called Seiferkel, which is near Bilabela. That's where I grew up, and I went to Swarisanang Primary School, where the only sport that we knew, obviously, was netball for the girls, football for the guys, and athletics for everyone. Other than that, there was gardening and knitting. You know, there was nothing else there. Wow. And an opportunity came once upon a time where the Pretoria government gave out scholarships to previously disadvantaged girls and boys in those kind of primary schools or those kind of areas. And I was lucky to be one of the people. Like my academics obviously spoke a lot about my, you know, my abilities, and I was taken into the International School of South Africa. Back then it was called International School of Pretoria, and to study there. And obviously, you know, that is where I got a lot of exposure to different types of sport. Squash, I didn't even know what squash was, volleyball, gymnasium. I even got into the swimming pool and I had to swim as part of the lessons, you know. So I got exposed to a lot of sporting codes, but football, still, it was for the boys, not for the girls. I remember once I put my name down for football when they said, put down at the beginning of term, you have to write which sport you're going to be participating in every term. And I put my name down for under 15 football team, but there was like boys. And then one teacher came to me and said, sorry, you can't play here. It's the boys team. Go choose hockey or something else. So I had to go choose another sport, unfortunately. But it was only towards the end of me being at the International School of South Africa that one teacher from America came and he started taking women's football serious. I think because then in America they were taking women's football quite seriously, and he established a team and we started playing. That was in my last year at the International School of South Africa. But I'd seen Banyana Banyana on TV before then, and once I saw them playing, I was like, one day I'd like to play for that team. I don't know how or when, but I'd like to play for that team one day.
So you only picked up football quite late then?
Yeah.
That should have been your matric then.
Yeah, definitely.
So when did it become so serious and you realized, actually, this is my career, that I wanna be there seriously And what steps did you take to get to that level?
Yeah, see, when I left the International School of South Africa, one of the sports teachers told me, because I was doing so many sports, I was really talented in a lot of sport. I was doing duathlons, you know, cycling. Wow. I didn't even have a bicycle, but I was doing duathlon. I was like, I was the captain of the volleyball team. I was in athletics. I was doing so many things. But my teacher said, you need, when you get to university, if you want to excel in a sporting code, you need to choose one or two and just focus on those. So when I got to Wits, I decided, you know what, I'm going to do athletics because I love athletics, and I'm going to do another sport. I think I said basketball because I just picked up basketball and I liked basketball. But then when I got to Wits University, I found that there was an organized race league for football, for women. And I was like, wow, I'm definitely going in there. And basketball, they also recruited me. I used to play, I was staying in Banato Hall, and behind the race, there was a basketball court, and then in Dickfields. And then I used to go there in the afternoon and shoot some hoops. And some ladies used to pass by and say, hey, you need to come try out for the basketball team. And that's how I got into basketball. I went to athletics, but I wasn't sure because the attention they gave me, no one really recruited me. I wasn't really sure what was going on. Football, I was pushed there because of the league that was happening, and I was told that there's an inter-university competitions that happens annually. Good. Look, in the race league, I was good enough to get attention because I started playing for another race that I was not even staying in. I played for Sunnyside. There was a women's race, you know, on the East Campus of it. And I was staying in Banato, and Banato had a ladies team. But because they never approached me, I never played for them. But someone in Sunnyside said, come play for us. And I played. Then Banato started fighting for me. No, you need to come play for us because you stay in Banato Hall. And that's how I ended up playing for Banato. But then as I was playing, they had to choose a team for Wits. And one of the guys who used to come to the fields all the time was Dennis Shabalala and Kwanele Kopo, who's now at SuperSport. And he said, look, they said, look, you need to try out for the Wits University team. We're going to have this competition to qualify for the SASUS. It's now called the USAS. The USAS. You need to qualify for the SASUS. Wits needs to qualify, and they had been there the year before. So come, trial out and see where you can fit in. And I remember the first game I played, and I was all over the field. I didn't know what position I was playing. I wanted, if the ball was on the other side, I wanted to go get it. And they had to like coach me and say, look, if we are saying you're playing here, this is where you need to play, and you need to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And Kwanele Kopo was really instrumental, you know, in getting me to love the sport as much as I ended up doing. Although it was really hard on us, but I think that's sometimes you need someone like that to get the best out of you. And after I played one competition, it was in Pretoria where we were qualifying, and I saw the attention I was getting, and everyone, whenever Wits was playing, and it was like I look around and the field is full and everyone is coming to watch me. Even in the race league, around the field, there was so many people who came to watch, and I was like, there's an interest there, and the attention people gave me meant that there was something there. Maybe it needed a lot of polishing, but there was something there.
Wow. What a story. And it was at Wits University that you started playing with the lady that is now the mouthpiece for Orlando Pirates in Thandi Marafe, as well as Nico Sono. I mean,
it was so late.
You know, and when we thought that, you know, sometimes it's too late for us to actually pick up a sport, Lydia will show you something else. Let's continue this conversation after the break.
Welcome back. Let's get right into it and look at the trailblazer today. We're looking at another leading woman in sports, and today's trailblazer is Banyana Banyana legend Fikile 16V. 16 is what they call her as well. Setole was the midfielder maestro who started playing football in the early 80s, and she was, of course, part of the first Banyana squad that was put together in 1993. She now spends her coaching time and holds a couple of coaching certificates from SAFA as well as KNVB.
Yeah, she's also an brand ambassador for Fair Play for Africa and a volunteer for HIV and AIDS. She is also part of 10 selected legends that's taking part in the inaugural Betway 12th Man program, which is currently being rolled out by the sport betting company in partnership with Lucas Khadebe. But you know, she's also been behind the Soweto Ladies Academy and getting that up and running with Sibongela. And I understand, Lydia, you also played at the Soweto Ladies.
Yes, yes. And Figile, I played with her as well. She was in my team, luckily. There were so many players. I was really lucky to be in the same team with, you know, the likes of Figiles, Kabozita, Poshia, Modise, Sibongile. You know, it was a very strong squad. And obviously, so Soshanguve Ladies were not happy that I left them and joined Soweto Ladies, who recruited me after playing my first AWC qualifiers against Zambia. But those were interesting times at Soweto Ladies I had.
Let's now fast forward to leadership positions within women in sport, women in football. Fast forward to your current position. How did you now transform yourself from a player into a part that you play in making sure that you open doors for young ones in universities?
Look, to get where I was, I didn't actually start in sport. I started as an accountant. I did my auditing articles with EY, Ernst & Young, back in the days. And after that, I worked there as a manager, working on the 2010 FIFA World Cup account. After that, I went to the UK. Then coming back, I decided, you know what, corporate is not exactly where I want to be. My passion is more in sport. So I wanted to kind of not change my career completely, but just take a short left, you know, off ramp a little bit and just go work in sport, focus more there, because I felt that is where I can add more value. And then I worked, it was small jobs that I did before I got the job at Wits University to be a sports officer. It was almost like starting it from scratch, but I was a sports officer at Wits University at Wits Sport, and I worked there, but I felt like this was just a stepping stone for me. But starting to work at Wits with youngsters who were, you know, still studying, I felt I could add a lot of value there because I had been a student. And I had to play sport at a very high level, playing for Wits in both the football team and the basketball team. So weighing, kind of balancing sport and education at the same time, it was something that I had done successfully to get an honors degree while I was playing for Banyana Banyana, and I felt I could sort of mentor and guide other students in achieving what they want to achieve by getting the degrees, setting themselves, you know, positively for the future in terms of work and everything, but at the same time enjoying the whole university experience. And for me, the university experience is also comes with participating in sport, whether it's on a high level, elite level, or on a recreational level. So I felt when I was working at Wits that I could add a lot of value when it comes to that. But then after 2 years, I felt I needed to move on because there were other bigger things that I wanted to do. And I was actually on my way to London to work in the the London Olympics in 2012. And I got my work visa sorted, everything. I paid a lot of money, which I'll never get back. But when I actually sold my car, I had a tenant for my house, and someone at SAF approached me to say, look, we're looking for a manager for Banyana Banyana.
Wow.
The position is available. Would you be interested? And then I went there for an interview, and I was successful. I don't know if there were any other candidates or if I was the only candidate, but I was successful. They put a contract forward, and I was like, you know what? I was going to work in the Olympics, and Banyana Banyana is going to the Olympics. And I really like the team. I will always be my favorite team. So I felt, if I work for Banyana Banyana, what I used to not see as a player, I can see as a manager. If there's anything that I wanted to change, I will have an influence in you know, in the payments, in anything that happens, in the kind of programs that the women get involved in. From there, I was recruited again. I was headhunted by the University of Pretoria to come work there at TuksSport as one of the deputy directors. It was a position that I could not say no to, because it meant a lot of growth for me. coming from where I came from in the past 2 or 3 years that I worked at WITS, also at SAFA. So I felt it was a huge leadership position, and I knew that if I took that position, any decision that I made would be a final decision. I felt like I had a bigger role to play, and I was going back to university where there were still students, student athletes, where I started, you know, and I felt, you know, I could even have a bigger impact there, working with different sporting codes, not just only concentrating on football, but other sporting codes, and hence why I went there. And now I mentor quite a few girls, and, you know, I wake up in the morning feeling happy, and whenever someone graduates, you know, that warmth, you know, the feeling that you get, the butterflies in your stomach when someone crosses the stage, or you see their pictures on social media, that, you know, I finally did it. You know, it brings so much joy, you know, the joy that I never found, you know, sitting behind a desk and doing working papers.
I mean, the way that she speaks about mentorship and the passion that she has, you get this idea that no matter where Lydia is, she goes with her entire heart, because if the people that saw her play will always remember that image of her as a footballer. 20 caps for Banyana Banyana, 4 goals for Banyana Banyana, a silver medal at the All Africa Games. That was just when you were playing. And then your education, University of Pretoria, doing French, honours, masters, and you've got twins. And you hold this deputy director of TuksSport. How do you manage all of this? Where do you get all the time?
I think it's all about managing your time well, you know, seeing what's important, urgent and important, and putting other things, you know, to follow. You know, you can always do other things after. But to me, obviously, my children come first, or, you know, maybe behind my job, because I need my job to feed them. But, you know, whenever I got, you know, in the mornings, in the evenings, you know, I spend as much time as I can with my children, also on the weekends. But during the week, I work so hard, you know, at work I have to put in so many hours. You know, I'm not the first in the office, to be honest, because I have to see my children off to preschool, but definitely I'm the last in the office because I have to push, you know, and also I took up French, you know, to perfect my French skills. It's something that I've always liked.
What's the reason for that? Yeah. Are you heading for CAF?
Having worked in football, and you go to CAF competitions, and they will send you a journalist and a cameraman who speak only French, and they must interview your coach and your players. There's no one even speaking English. Your coach and your players don't speak French, and you're like,
someone must speak
but I really, I got to understand the need to speak the language then. You know, I was like, you know what, at the end of the day also, as much as, you know, although English is a big, well-spoken language in Africa, but French comes second as well. There's a lot of countries that you deal with that speak French. And when I was in that football space, they use French a lot. I would go to a meeting, they would be conversating in French, and they would just come back to you only when they're talking to you, they're speaking English. But because my previous French helped me so much, I could understand what they were saying. Although I couldn't say whatever that I wanted to say, I could say it in English, but I was like, you know what, I need to speak French so that I can be the middle person between CAF and my team.
What is next for Lydia?
One day I would like to be in a directorship position where I'm a director of sport at a university or at a sporting organization, or a chief operating officer, because the job that I do now is similar to a chief operating officer. But obviously sport is my passion, it's my love. That is the area and the focus that I would like to maintain in the future.
Watch this space. Thank you, Lydia, for coming in and sharing part of your life story with us. It's been wonderful to spend this little bit of time. I wish we had a little bit more time here, because whenever we end the conversation, we always think, oh, you know,
there's so much
yeah, we would have loved to have had you, but we'll get you back.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Lydia Mpnyepao was today's game changer. And maybe there's a game changer or a trailblazer that you've got in mind that you'd like us to chat to or chat about. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Just drop us an email. The details are on your screen at the moment. And remember, if you can't get through to that email address, go through to our social media platforms using the hashtag The Ladies Club at Sport at SABC, at Vaylen, Kirtley, at Lebo, Motsoeli. And as we go, remember that greatness is earned but never given. Thank you for watching. See you next time.